All right. And we're live. Deadman Stone Podcast. Your host, Mr. Deadman. Co-host, Becky. How's it going, Becky?
Hey,
You doing all right?
just fine. How are you?
I'm
Yeah.
doing fine. I'm doing fine. And joining us tonight is James, the Killer Watt.
Hi, James.
Hello.
I kind of feel like you need some theme music with that name.
I think he does too. Definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah. We need to change that next time. Get you some theme music. Got to build up the suspense. So, how did you get that nickname?
Actually, was it Becky or?
I think it was Chris Miller. I think it was
Yeah.
Chris Miller that did it.
Chris.
And I kind of
Miller.
liked it, so I was like, okay, I'll keep it.
All right. All
Yeah,
right.
we liked it. So we kind of mess with him a little, but we like him.
Well, it's good to hear that someone came up with the name for you, because I mean, if you came up with it on your own and you kept it, that's just an ego trip. But this, when someone does it for you, you earned it. You know.
He definitely
That's like
earned
my
it.
brother. My brother calls himself Chad. No one else called him Chad. No one gave him the nickname. He just decided to call himself. I was like, dude. Nicknames are generally given.
Yeah.
Right.
Not made up.
And
Right.
Chad. Okay.
Yeah, his name is Charles.
All right.
And he's like, no, why would you even do that? I think he's trying to.
Why would he? Why would he do that? That's weird. Oh, okay. Before we get too distracted, Becky, do we have any ads or anything?
We do.
Oh, we do. Okay.
Okay.
So, time to make some
We
money,
do.
ladies and gentlemen. Time to make some money. We have an ad. If you want your book or
We do.
a service or whatever promoted, just hit us up. Was it $20?
$20, 5 shows.
$20, 5 shows. All
you
right.
get to write the ad.
All right. So, Becky, go ahead and read the ad.
Okay, this is from author Richard Rumpel, and this is the ad. What happens when a succubus takes advantage of a creature of the night? Why are Bigfoot creatures so hard to find? What would you do if attacked by slithering serpents? Gabriella is your guide to 13 tales of terror in her book, Gabriella, Tales from a Demon Cat. Readers state, I didn't sleep for 3 days after that story, and that one scared the hell out of me. Richard Rumpel's Gabriella, Tales from a Demon Cat, available on Kindle or in paperback at Amazon.com.
Oh, wow. All right. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yes, it
I actually
does.
have a signed copy of that book.
Oh, yeah. He's a great
Yeah,
guy.
I've read Richard.
He's going to be on the show in a couple weeks. Well, actually, I lied. Monday.
Be on the show on Monday. Look at that.
Yes, he will.
Look at that. Look at
Richard's
that.
a really great guy. I met him in Kentucky at Scarefest. Great dude
Yes.
all the way around. Him and his wife were both awesome people.
I agree.
Okay. Now, one other ad I want to give out real fast. And this is just because give it back to the community. I like to look at other podcasts and books and services, whatever. They caught my interest. The Grave Plot Podcast. I don't know if you heard about this. I was listening to it this morning.
Mm-mm.
It's pretty cool. 2 dudes. But they go by Skeletoni and Tyler Terror. All right. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a podcast. It's all about horror. They talk about horror news, like news related to horror, not kind of like what we do on the show where we kind of like talk about everything.
Right.
Interviews with filmmakers, actors, reviews on movies, whether it be current or old, and it's like that for every episode. It's like 2 episodes a month, but each episode it's pretty loaded. So. Check that out. They're pretty much on everything. iTunes, anywhere you can find a podcast, which they're not hard. They're really not hard to find. Just get a podcast app, search the Grave Plot Podcast. Grave Plot Podcast. And there you go. Boom. Easy. Without all that said, the only other announcement I have is two. One, next Saturday, we're going to have a wild private show that I titled Let's Get Banned on YouTube. This private show is going to be so wild. I kid you not. I might do something that could get us banned. Okay?
Oh, my Lord.
All right? I'm not going to make any promises.
And let me guess. This has something to do with your love for Gary Buller and Tony Evans.
Most certainly, yes. Gary Buller and Tony Evans. Yes. Hey, you know what?
I kind of thought.
There's a bromance between us. What can I say? And it's blossoming. All right? Just don't get in the way, Becky. Just don't get in the way. That's all I can say.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry.
Now, this private show is for patrons. All right? Now, a few people are going to be slipped a link or two, but you got to be a patron if you really want to watch it. And there's two main things going to happen. There's a warpath against a troll on Twitter, and it's going to be interesting, very, very interesting. And the other thing is, well, the part that might actually get us banned. So, if you're interested, check that out. Go to the Patreon page, patreon.com/Deadman's Tome. And all it takes is $1. Anyway, the only
other thing.
Oh, what's the other thing?
We are trying to raise money for a new computer for the show, and if we get enough money, we're going to have a video for everyone that has donated, and I get to taser my brother.
Oh yeah,
and everybody gets to watch.
That's the best part. I forgot about that. How could I forget about that? Hey, if you want
I don't know, but can I just pay the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean,
it would so be worth it.
If you want to see Becky tase her brother, if you want to see that, which I know you do, come on.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Just, I mean, what is that? $10? And everyone who donates $10.
I'm begging, please.
Oh, man. All right. The other announcement for this show, a drinking game for this show. I got my shot cam ready. Here's my shot cam. Boom. I got some tequila right here. All right, what I'm doing, I'll be taking a shot for every $5 donation. If you look in the description box below, Streamlabs is up. What that is, you click on that, you do a donation via PayPal, whatever it does for you, and you send it, something comes on the screen, I take a shot of tequila. All right? If you're new to it, it might take a little while, but it's pretty easy, pretty simple. If I could do it when I'm drunk, you could do it when you're sober. All right, come on. All right, with that said, let's just start with this, James. Who are you and what do you do?
Well, I'm a horror author, trying to be. By night, I'm generally a grocery store shelf stocker. But I've written one novel that came out with Hellbound Books, Them, which seems to be picking up a little bit of popularity. I'm doing several anthologies this year. I think it'll be a total of 6 anthologies by the time the year's out.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually
He's in one of ours, too.
Now.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty good. I'm sorry. Sorry to cut you off right there. Sorry. Apologize.
Oh, no, you're awesome. You're all right. I'm still getting used to the radio thing.
Okay.
Not used to it yet. This is only my 3rd time doing this.
I see. Well,
we'll be gentle.
Yeah, this show's very relaxed. I mean, you're in a good place to kind of get the hang of it. Right. So how long have you been writing?
I've been writing since I was probably about 10, 11 years old. I started reading books I picked up on the Hardy Boys when I was in elementary school, the Hardy Boys Adventure Series. I don't know if y'all remember that one.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. I read that. They came out. I think that series started in like 1929 or something. It was a long running series. But when I got to 7th grade, our 7th grade, we didn't have a middle school, so you went straight from elementary to high. And
Oh my gosh!
The first week I went to the high school library, I was trying to find something to read, and the first thing that popped in front of me was Stephen King's The Stand.
Oh wow!
Oh
Okay.
wow!
So I checked out The Stand, and I believe it was Salem's Lot and The Shining. Took those home, read them. The Stand blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
So at that moment, I forgot all about the Hardy Boys. And I was like, well, I'd like to tell stories like this. So that's when I started writing and practicing on telling horror stories. I'd also write stories themed after the comic books, because I was a big comic book geek in high school too.
Yeah.
But I loved horror. Something about horror. I mean, my sisters, they kind of force-fed me horror movies when I was a little kid. Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. So when I started reading King's work, and plus all the movies that I'd watched with them, I was like, this is pretty much something I want to do. I think I can write this.
And he
I've been working
can.
on that ever since.
All right. I like how you say that they had to force feed you horror films. Like, were you begging? Were you begging for them to stop?
Yeah, I was about 6 or 7 when they first started putting them on me. I was terrified.
Oh my gosh!
And then eventually, I just got to where, okay, no biggie. I want to watch this. I want it to scare me. Yeah, I was a little kid, didn't want to be scared, but after a while, when you got used to it, you're like, okay, it's a challenge now. See if you can scare me.
Yeah.
Right. I always tell people that when they send me a book to read, they'll say, "Oh, it'll gross me out," and I'm like, "Oh, we'll see." I doubt it, but you can try.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but 6 and 7, that's a pretty good age. To get some nightmares stuck in you. Man, you see some things that last forever. I mean, I guess it kind of explains why horror, right?
Oh, yeah. And I guess it's kind of also the reason the way I write. I try to write everything that has kind of a classic, like an 80s feel to it. I find it hard to get out of that when I write. It's just like everything seems to pop up with an 80s feel. And some folks like that, and some folks are like, eh. But
most people love it.
Yeah, I love that. I love classic horror movies and novels. The 80s. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And that's the kind of stuff that I remember the most. To me, I mean, some folks, they'll argue with me about it, but I don't really like to argue. But they'll say, well, the stuff that's out here today is the best. I was like, well, that's whatever you like. If you like the stuff today better, or if you like the stuff that used to be out, I was like, I just prefer the older horror. It just seemed back then it was scarier. I don't know if it's the way some of it was filmed. Like some of the older movies had that grainy looking film, and the horror films, and it was always like low lighting or dark. It was just creepy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everything's too polished now. Everything's way too polished and clean, which makes for, I mean, everything looks clean and nice and crisp, but
it makes it good for the gore.
Yeah.
But not so much for the fear part.
No, not really. No. But so now, what really compels you about horror, though? Like, what attracts you about horror?
Horror, I believe it. Well, I have a stern belief that fear. Everybody needs to know fear. Fear can break you or make you, and it's probably one of the biggest things about survival. If you have to survive, you have to learn how to conquer that fear, or you work with it, or just let it beat you. And in horror, you have that chance to just any fear that you can possibly imagine, anything that anybody's afraid of, you just pop it out there. And some people will sit there and they'll just eat that fear up, and they love it, and they work with it, and they've come to terms with being afraid, and they know how to handle it. And then some people just fold up and like, oh, I don't want to even see that anymore. I don't read it.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe writing horror, the key thing with fear is just you write it, you read the fear, you read what scares you see what scares you, and you face it head on instead of running away from it.
Yeah. Now, of course, some people might be so scared that they do run away from it, or they even are, let's say, bothered and even offended by it because it's such. It triggers them because just the fear factor and all that.
Oh yeah, I know several folks that are like that. The way I grew up in the country. I grew up out in the middle of nowhere, so most of the stuff, like I say, when I watch my sisters, I'm out in the middle of the woods and they're all asleep at night. You first little branch hits the window, and you're like, "What the hell was that?"
Mm.
But my dad, he taught us, how to not be afraid. And he said, if you have to be afraid, just don't let it control you. It's okay to be afraid, just don't let it take over. And that's how we grew up. We just had to, if something scared us, we just ran and met it. It's basically the way our dad raised us, is to just take it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, though. You got to face your fears. Otherwise, your fears will control you, will haunt you,
Right.
It's just, what interests me about horror is that it is definitely the one genre that can really test people's, limits, test people's comfort levels. And, I mean, the subject matter that we write about, and that it's about murder, serial killers, and some horror writers like to put in other things like rape and assault and like cannibalism and necrophilia, just all sorts of nasty, horrific things. Some people can handle it, some people can't, and it's just, I don't know. Like what do you think about that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've read some stuff that's so vivid and so real that you could actually just sit there and picture it. And you didn't even want to see it. Like the rape. I've read the rape scenes. I've read just about everything. I've read stuff that has bestiality. There's some wild things out there, and when you first run into it, you don't know what to expect. You a little bit uncomfortable at first, and then some of it's just so far out there that it does kind of hinge on your mind a little bit. And I've actually had dream nights where I've woke up and, oh shit, that shit was pretty far out.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Do
you think people become desensitized to fear and to horror over time?
What I think happens a lot of people is if say there is a movie or a book, it has certain things in it, like the rape scene, or maybe like they're very uncomfortable with like children deaths in the movies, and then some of them are just uncomfortable with it because it may be something they had experienced, like say the rape. Someone may have been raped, and then they read this, and then boom, it just brings everything back to them. It's like a rush. Or maybe they've known, a family member or a friend that's been murdered in probably a really bad way, and like the rape, it bring it all back to them. And I can understand how some people would be kind of put off by that because it brings back such a harsh personal memory.
Yeah,
sure.
I can see that. My take on it is that, we're living in an interesting time where I do think people are desensitized. At the same time, there's other people that are, I guess, more sensitive to it. Because there's also we see it all over the place on social media, outrage, culture, whatever, however you want to describe it. People just feel like they can just be outraged by anything. Sometimes it's legitimate, sometimes it's just a bunch of fluff for attention. But it's hard to tell sometimes at first. It's like, oh, this is horrible because it has this and that in it. But it's like, okay, like, first of all, we're talking about horror, so it's already gonna disturb you. It's not gonna be good for. It's not meant to like for hugs and kisses and comfort. You know,
Right.
You know, it's not a walk in a park. It's not a coffee at Starbucks. It's horror. You know.
I agree.
Oh, I had one review for them where the reviewer, I actually got a 4-star, not because they didn't like, they loved the story, but one of the things they were uncomfortable with was animal deaths, and that bothered them. So
that's funny. That's funny. You can have as many humans die as possible. You can have them gutted, hung from trees, put into like wood chippers, but don't you dare kill the dog.
Right.
You kill that dog, you are a horrible monster. Right?
Yeah, no, that's the first person that had brought that up, and I was like, I never even thought about it. I was just, just writing the story and letting the story go where it went. I never thought that anyone would be like, well, you killed Spot,
Yeah. That's a good learning lesson.
So tell us about them. Yep. Tell us about them, James.
Them?
Mm-hmm.
Them is that's an old work. I wrote. I believe it was originally written in 2008, and it had a little stint under a different name for a not to be mentioned publisher that was just a big rip-off, big pod company. I got my rights back for that, and then I sent it to Fearfront, and then they shut down. And then finally, Hellbound picked it up. And them it's a story. A lot of the story of them, a lot of the main character Ray is loosely based off my life and how I grew up. Them it circles around. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it
right.
circles around a parasitical creature or a group of creatures that had made it to our world about 100 years prior to the novel, and they depend on humans to actually protect them while they get their strength up to build their nests and to breed and to eventually evolve into a higher form. The main thing about them was these creatures, the two families that protect them, had protected them for over a century. And the main character has no idea about this because both his father and his cousin's father, which is a character in the novel, neglected to tell them about the past. So when he comes home to his father has already passed away years ago. Comes home to bury his mother, and he's basically walking into a family secret. He's basically learning it on the fly because he don't know what's going on and what's happening. And I got this idea from the parasite part. I got this idea from I was researching deer ticks one day for some reason.
Okay.
I can't remember. And I was like, well, wouldn't those be pretty interesting to, let me just throw some tentacles on them and see what else I can make them do. Mm-hmm. And they're a real nasty critter. They get in, they're like puppeteers. Once they get inside you, they can do what they want.
Yeah, with the Lyme disease, right?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Deer tick?
Yeah, deer ticks. I mean, I hear that they are like the main proponent for Lyme disease. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I would not.
You're right.
And I had a deer tick.
Yeah,
I had a tick on me. I'm not sure if it was a deer tick, but I had a tick on me one time. Come back from the deer lease, my dad's deer lease, and it was it was on a spot that I was like, I didn't think a tick could get there.
Oh God.
I
did not even want to know how you got it off.
very carefully, Becky. It was. I was like, what am I supposed to do here? It's clinging on. It's clinging on, and I don't even know how I didn't even feel it. Like it must have just like, I don't know. Like when it bites,
they're creepy little boogers.
Yeah, I'm guessing when they bite, they have some sort of like anesthesia or something where you don't feel it right away or something. Because like I never felt it, and then I looked down.
Yeah,
I looked down at my balls. I'm like, what the hell is that? TMI. There you go. But you know, it's a hunting story with a tick. James, Mr. Watts, we're gonna get real comfortable real fast here on this show. All right, so you got a tick story?
Well, they're similar. I went with the basic body design of a tick, and I added these little tentacles, which have little spurs that come out of the end. They can inject the poison, or they can latch on to you to hold you where they need you to be. They're nasty little boogers. They get into animals. It's easier for them to use animals because there's no willpower. But and usually with people, they have to confiscate corpses. Makes it easier for them because there's no will, no fight from the human mind. And
they're creepy little boogers too. I'm telling you.
Their whole goal is to basically to breed and lay their eggs and let their young evolve into a higher form, which is more of a reptilian type of creature, which I didn't go all into in this novel with. I plan on doing a return to them with the main character eventually, and it'll go into more of their past and their origins and exactly what they are.
Oh wow!
But
so wait. Now these organisms, they're based on deer ticks, but I mean, when on the research on deer ticks, I mean, like where's? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, where's the fiction? Obviously, the tentacles and all that, but I don't know. Have there been any real life instances of deer ticks mind controlling people or taking over a host?
Not that I know of. I went by the basic book. I didn't really go by, the exact, biology of the tick. I looked at a picture of one that was someone had under a microscope, and I was looking at how creepy it looked. I was like, that would make a one hell of a creature to mess with right there.
Okay.
I was like, if I tinker with it, I might can even make it creepier. And so that's how that came about. And I was actually working on a little writing sample I was doing for a website called writerscafe.org. And when I got this idea, after I saw the little microscope shot of the tick, and I was like coming up with the idea of everything that I could do to make it creepier and what the creature was. I just threw it into that sample, and
okay, gotcha.
3 or 4 paragraph sample became a novel.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a little bit more of that story. After a week coming back from the deer lease and discovering what I discovered, I don't go into detail how I got it removed, but a few days after that.
But I want to know.
I know you do, Becky. I know you do. That is a private show sort of story. Okay. And I'll have images.
Okay. Oh my God.
Of diagrams.
Especially for Gary.
I went through a few days of listening to Nickelback and Backstreet Boys. And so if that's not like a mind control thing, a personality change, then I don't know what is.
So you're saying that the tick is how you became Mr. Deadman?
I guess so, because after those few days, I realized, why am I listening to? No, actually, no. I remember correctly. A friend came over and saw me in my room listening to the Backstreet Boys, and was like, "What the hell's wrong with you? You need to get the fuck out. What the hell's wrong with you? Snap out of this shit." And we we pretty much had to bury that guy, and then I became Mr. Deadman.
Oh my Lord.
Complicated story, Becky. But yeah.
Hey, everybody's got to have an origin story.
Yep. Might be a few dead bodies out there in the back. I can't say anything more. My lawyer's looking at me.
Your lawyer looks at you cross-eyed an awful lot. You know that?
Yeah, but I have a really good attorney. Like, really good.
Oh, did you... I know something else. That you and James have a couple things in common.
Oh, what's that?
Do you want to know what they are?
Well,
the first one is that you both have a mutual admirer.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes way.
Oh, you mean a Nicholas Passion?
Oh, yeah.
Little Nicky.
Little Nicky boy. Oddly enough, Little Nicky boy is not the troll that be going on a warpath on next Saturday. This troll is actually a troll. It's like a legion of trolls, but it's under one account. I'm pretty sure one person's operating this, and it. Anyway, I digress. So,
right.
Tell me about your experience with Nicholas Passion.
Oh.
Nick, I met Nick on writerscafe.com back in 2008. I had posted a little story on there that I'd written for a contest, Scarlet Frost, which is now published with Hellbound Books, and which is why Nick had such an issue about it, because he had originally published it in this Library of Unfortunate Event, or I don't know, something like that just disappeared. You couldn't find it nowhere for years. It was there for maybe a year and a half, and it's gone, and never heard anything from Nick at all. Well, then pops up, and then not long after that, I start hearing from Nick on Facebook, and he's starting to add me to stuff that I post that I'd never even heard of. It's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. Why you got me tagging this?
You don't know what episode 5 is either?
I have no idea what half that shit is he's talking about. He's like, he'll tag me there. James Watts will know what I say. No, I don't, dude. I have not a damn clue what you're talking about. Why are you tagging me in this?
Oh, man. Yeah, he does that. He does that with me, too. He'll tag and tag and tag and tag and tag. Oh, Mr. Deadman. One time he tagged and said, I think Deadman's Tome is in the position to correct some wrongs or something because of this and that. I'm just like, I guess that's a positive thing. I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. I don't even know.
Nobody does. Bless his heart. I mean, nobody does. But the other thing that y'all have in common is James likes to play video games.
Oh, is this like a date? Are we?
Well, maybe I'm trying to get you away. I'm trying to get you away from 4. Gary and Tony.
No,
I'm kidding.
No, but yeah.
Maybe I'm just adding to your harem.
Look at that. Oh, okay.
There you go. Sorry, James.
Yeah. So what games do you play?
My favorite games are either RPGs or horror survival games. Well, when I grew up like with Atari and Nintendo, and like my favorite game from then was like Zelda.
Oh yeah, classic.
Played every game since then. Then I stumbled across Final Fantasy VII, and that blew my mind. But my recent game that I like to play a lot is the Fallout series. The Fallout series.
Yeah, that's good.
And Red Dead Redemption was pretty fun.
Oh, have you played the new one?
I haven't played the new one yet. I saw screenshots and the videos. I was like, this is going to be one amazing game right here.
Yeah, you get that. We won't hear from you for about a month. Maybe even more than that.
Oh, shit. You're banned.
Awesome.
You may not play that. Not till the new book is done.
I may never get a book done.
Yeah.
You cannot play that. You cannot play that until after you get this book done, because you cannot leave me hanging where you have left me in this book.
So far, I've been good, because Fallout 4, I still have downloadable content to finish, but I put it to the side. Even though I'll sit there and look at the gaming system and say, well, you know, maybe I should take a break. But then I know if I take that break, that's going to be a 3 or 4 week break playing Fallout 7, Fallout 4, and then I'll be, oh shit, I need to write this book. It's just they kind of compel you to play them, you know.
Oh yeah, they
especially
do.
the way the graphics are today, and the way they have the engine set up for the game, the gameplay. It's amazing what they've done with video games.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, and they do keep you hooked in. I actually haven't really played much of the new or current games. I mean, I think the most recent game I played was, most recent release is probably, I want to say Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, that's kind of, I'm aware of all the other ones. I've seen the other releases. I just haven't had a chance, really. I mean, I play a lot of old school games, especially with my son. I mean, he's been playing old school Nintendo games like Kirby and stuff. So we pretty much do that throughout the day. But, yeah, man, I grew up playing on Nintendo, Zelda, and I played role-playing games like Final Fantasy. And that's the
I have video for you, too.
Oh, what, the Castlevania? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You did it?
Yes.
Oh, man. See, we sent...
It's hilarious.
We told Becky that she has to play Castlevania 4 because she's never played it. So she has video of her playing it.
Is that the PS3 one?
That is the Super Nintendo one. The one where...
Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay,
and I sucked.
I know they had my friend had it. I've never got a chance to actually play it. It was a Castlevania, but it was for like the PS3. And the way it started out with like this, like these villagers are around this huge wooden door that's made like out of logs, and you something huge is banging on that door, and you're like, oh hell. And Simon comes up, of course. And I guess they've called him, in to take care of the problem.
Yeah.
So when it busts through, it's like this huge, massive-looking werewolf. This huge werewolf. I'm like, oh hell, this is going to be a great game. And I never got a chance to pick up and play it.
Oh man, yeah. I see.
Wait till you see this. You will die laughing.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got to check out the footage.
Oh yeah.
Definitely send it to me, and I'm gonna put it on the show. I'll put it on the show, live on the show. I mean, I don't know about right now, but yeah, if you send it to me,
I will. You'll have to watch it first though, because I tell it off a couple of times.
And since we're doing this, what James and I have in common, we're a date thing. What else do we have in common, Becky? What else do we have in common?
I don't know. I can't tell you. No, but.
Do we both have a tattoo really on the small of our back? No, I'm just joking.
Maybe. No, it's on your butt. Shut up.
Oh, shit. How do you know about that?
Gary told me. I don't know.
Okay.
Gary and Tony told me. I don't know.
No, they're talking too much. Talking way too much.
Well, I do have a favor, James.
A favor?
Yeah. James, can I read the very first part, the prologue of them to Jesse?
Sure.
Just the first part. I won't read too much of it, I promise.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. She found it hard to breathe as she ran, her nightgown soaked from the rain, clinging to her tiny frame the way a sheet of newspaper clings to the wet surface of a city street. Branches and thorns cut into her face, ankles, and arms as she trampled through the tangled undergrowth and sapling trees. Deviating from the red rock path, she had chosen thorn patches and prickly limbs over the immediate death. She could hear them behind her, thrashing and cutting their way through the brush. Angry, bad-tempered creatures of hate and darkness. They roared in fury at their prey's defiance against them, their fury fueled by giving chase to such a fragile old woman. That, however, would not change her course, nor would it instill in her the need to give in, to give up so that they could ravage and desecrate her remains. She may be old, perhaps, but weak-willed and subservient, no. If they were to overcome her and tear her apart, they would have to earn that right. Until that moment, she had no intention of stopping, no matter how bad it hurt to breathe or how treacherous the ground beneath her feet had become.
Oh, wow.
That's only the first paragraph, and it only gets better from there.
That's a pretty powerful telling or showing of the woman running away, trying to escape her assailants. That's good.
When I read this, I mean, I didn't know James then. I mean, he worked, we had this book, obviously, at Hellbound, but James Longmore sent this to me and said, here, read this, see if you like it, review it on the Panic Room, and I was like, okay. So I started reading it, and he messaged me, 10 times going, you know that the show's going to be on in 30 minutes, and I'm like, shut up, I don't want to talk to you. And he was like, why? And I'm like, I'm reading, dude. And he was like, are you reading them? And I was like, oh my God, I cannot put it down.
No.
I mean, I was floored. It's really, 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 really amazing.
It is a good read. I was actually reading into it before the show as well, with the free preview and stuff like that. It's definitely one I need to pick up. By the way, I turned on the shot cam so I can remind people of something. Look, I'm taking shots tonight.
Jesse needs a drink.
I need a shot. But I'm not a cheap bitch right now, okay? If you want me to take the shot, $5 donation. $5 donation. On the show notes, you'll see a Streamlabs option and just a direct to PayPal. Whichever is convenient for you. $5 donation. I'll take this clearly as a shot of tequila. I'm doing real shit. Not doing some water, okay?
Okay.
Come on, it's right here. Right here.
Wait a minute, what kind of tequila are we drinking?
Hornitos. Yep.
And you're not sharing?
Here, let me go ahead and pour some on my mic. I think that'll work.
That'll work about as great as that one dude that he left a message on the PlayStation 4 message boards asking how to clean this PlayStation. And one of the people answered, well, you need to take it apart and submerge the inside, all the insides of the PlayStation into a sink of warm, soapy water.
Oh, no.
The dude did that.
Oh,
the
no.
dude did it, and then he came back to the message board. He's like, man, I did what you said, but now my PlayStation doesn't work.
Oh man.
No.
I'm like, you gotta be shitting me.
Oh, my God. I cannot believe somebody actually really did that.
Oh, I believe it. And here's the thing. That's what a troll who says something like that. It's probably a younger version of me. Because that's something I kid you not. Okay.
Surely not. You mean thing.
I know, right? But it's not like I'll be expecting him to do it. It's just like, no way. Really? But
I thought that would work.
Well.
Oh my God, I cannot imagine.
Well, it did work. Now his PS4 is as clean as can ever be. It's just never going to work again. He wiped it out. He wiped it out completely. Yeah. Man.
People are not the brightest crowns in the box.
So I want to ask you more about them. So are there other influences for this book? I know because part of the storyline had to do with like family secrets and things like that. So are there any sort of, I guess, influences from your life that stem from that are kind of, you know, yeah.
Well, a lot of, you know, the Ray is a interesting character in the way that he's come home. You know, he lost his father and he lost his, you know, and now he's lost his mother. But he's really unsure, you know, of himself. He's constantly trying, you know, is he being, you know, the type of man his father would want him to be? You know, he's always worried about these little things and things that bother him the most, or if, you know, if he's doing what he should be doing as a man, and he's really just uncertain about himself. You know, he doesn't really know how to handle, you know, the death of his mother. He's not really sure, you know, how to get past it, and he gradually overcomes this through the, you know, towards the end of the book. But he you know, he doesn't know. He's not your most confident of protagonists. You know, he's still lost in his past. You know, a lot of things in his past, his ex-girlfriend, his, you know, his mother and his father, how he grew up, things that, you know, they used to do when he was younger. It just all boils over, and it just kind of overwhelms it. And that reminds me, you know, there's a lot of it had to do, you know, loosely based on my past. My father died the same way. My father, he died of lung cancer in '97, right after I graduated high school. And which I still have my mother, but we grew up basically the same, you know, the same way. My dad, we had a farm, you know, he would go sell stuff at the farmer's market, you know, we would raise stuff, he'd sell it. And a lot of that story has to do with family. Just, you know, his best friend is his cousin, which same way with me. One of my best friends is my cousin, and he has to, you know, try to come to terms with everything and just kind of grow up a little bit, try to get past all the childishness and the ways that he's clung on to for so long. And I was like that for a long time. After I graduated, after my dad passed, you know, I was married at the time my dad passed, but I was young married. I was like 21, and so I was still a kid basically. And it just stemmed from that. Just I wanted to get the point of family across, and the ties that we have with family, and then the secrets that families can hold and keep and let linger, and, you know, just eventually just explode and blow up in your faces. But it's basically family. I wanted to get that part about family being there, and I wanted the characters to be so real that you would read the story and be like, well, hey, I know this guy. You know, I went to school with this guy. And then the family, and basically also showing how people would fight something like this. Some kind of, I mean, I know it's fictional. It's these creatures that, you know, we know it doesn't exist. We're never going to have to fight these things ourselves or come across anything like this. So at least I hope we don't. But it you know, shows how family, friends can bond together to overcome a common enemy, basically.
Yeah, it's very interesting how family can do that. You know, family secrets. You know, there's always, every family has its secrets, right? They go pretty deep.
Oh yeah.
And it's like the deeper you go in the secrets, the more, I don't know. It's like it changes your perception on people, you know. It changes the perception on the people that you grew up and raised you and all that. Oh man.
Yeah, the more you uncover, the worse it gets. It's like, should I stop now, or should I just keep digging further and just learning more? And the more you learn, sometimes it's either going to hurt you or it's going to benefit you. But either way, you're going to have there's going to be some kind of consequence to follow.
I take it you had some experience with some family secrets coming out.
Oh yeah, we've had some doozies.
Yeah,
you know, we don't talk about
I can I had one that came up, and this was weird. Like, I will talk really well about my dad, right? I'll talk positively about my dad and all this stuff. But this, when I heard about this, I was like, what? This is crazy. This is crazy. What the hell is this? What is this? So apparently, when my dad was, I don't know, it was like a teenager or something. I don't know. But he would make money by mowing yards and all that. But another way he made money was this woman wanted to pay him to get rid of a cat problem. So he would with a baseball bat like get rid of the cats. Apparently.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm hearing this story right over I think Gringos or something, Mexican food. I'm just like, what now? You did what now, Dad? You know, and I mean, it's decades ago, right? And he's like different places. I don't know, maybe different, even a totally different person. And it's like, yeah, it happened. I mean, I don't know if it happened the way your mom's telling it, but yeah, I went around and bagged up cats and hit him with a belt with a bat for like $20. For like $20. It's like, you did what? That doesn't make any sense. Who does that? I mean, so let me ask you this: if you heard that about your dad, I mean, would that change things, or is that just kind of like a funny little thing that happened and kind of fucked up?
Like,
no, I don't think it changed anything.
Kind of fucked up, but I love you, Dad, but that's really fucked up.
Yeah.
That's like I didn't learn until I was around 17 or 18 that I actually have two brothers. I don't know if they're alive now or not, because they'd be older. My dad was born in like 1936.
Oh wow!
You know, they were 40 when I was conceived. My dad was anyway. But so apparently, when he was
you had okay.
Huh?
No. Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Apparently, when he was stationed overseas in Germany, he was a little frisky.
Yeah.
So apparently, I have two older brothers in Germany. I've never met them. I didn't know about this until I was like 18 years old. I was like, that would have been nice to know. I would have kind of liked to look them up, see if they're still, breathing.
Yeah, right.
See if maybe they're.
Oh my goodness.
Man.
See if maybe they, one of them owns a car dealership or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Give me a deal. Come on now.
But seriously, I would have loved to have met them just because they're brothers,
Yeah.
I may not know what they're saying, but I would still, like to meet them.
That would be cool.
I'd be up for a trip to Germany just to meet them.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Around Oktoberfest.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. That is a big doozy of a secret. That is a big doozy of a secret right there. Imagine, Becky, if you found out that you had a long-lost brother or sister.
One is enough.
Really? If you have two brothers,
I don't
you
want
could tase,
another one.
But you could tase two. You could tase two brothers at the same time.
Dude, you don't understand. I can tase this one twice.
You could, I guess. I mean,
yes. That's half the fun.
Oh wait, it looks like a donation has been received. Oh wow, look at that! I just got a notification real fast. Oh, it looks like I'm taking a shot. Oh, oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, okay, here I go. I'm taking a shot right now. Shot cam is on. All right, here we go. Ooh, okay. That was good. All right, I'm good.
For some reason, that reminded me of my second wife's grandmother's wedding.
Oh,
We were all in there, and she was. And what was really crazy is her grandmother was marrying the dad of one of my friends from high school. So we was all there at the wedding or at the reception, and they had the alcohol out. They had like the Smirnoff, like I think like 80 proof or something like that.
oh, fuck.
And they were all chasing it or mixing it, and I would just take the bottle and kick it back, and they was like, "How the hell are you doing that?" I was like, "I'm Irish." you know. Or my friend's dad, he's like, "Well, I got one for you." So he went in there into the kitchen, and as soon as I saw what he had in his hand that he pulled out from under the sink, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's on now." Mason jar.
Oh, fuck.
I knew what was in that. My family used to make it. Right? So we're taking shots out of the mason jar, and we're trying to one up each other each time. And finally, I was like, "Okay, I got you." I took my shots from the mason jar, and then I chased it with beer.
Oh, man.
I didn't understand how I did that. I was like, "Okay, I got one better." Then I took a shot from the mason jar and chased it with the Smirnoff.
Oh.
That was a fun night.
Oh, he's brave.
That
man.
was like double the burn.
Oh.
Man, I'm not even doing that. Hell, shit. I want to be able to function in the morning, kind of. Because I have to look my son in the eye and explain, Dad, like, why are you the way you are? Son, I'm all right, son. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I chase my water right now. Fuck, I wish I was Irish. That way I probably would be immune to the burn. That's the thing. I'm not immune to the burn. The burn that gets me every time. But it's my liver, I feel like, has some endurance. It must.
I can't think.
Are you
I can't
sure?
do it anymore.
Well, I'm wearing it out. I'm pretty sure, No one's going to want that. No one's going to want my used liver.
Organ donor? Yeah, got something for you.
Shit.
I probably couldn't do it today. Like I was younger back then. I was like 26. And I was used to it when I was in high school. Like I said, we grew up in the country, so in the high school we were either on the river or the lake on the weekend somewhere, just getting tore up.
Now I'll say, I'll go ahead and pour another shot, another $5 donation, either Streamlabs or PayPal. Come on. Here's the other shot. I'm pouring it. There you go. Come on, make it happen. Hey Ken, thanks for the donation. Maybe maybe let your brother know, Ken. Mr. Stark, let your brother, long lost sister know what's going on, and tell him that we need to get this Mr. Deadman guy drunk. Yeah. All right. This long lost brother and sister thing kind of reminds something. Becky.
Yes.
What was that news thing we're gonna talk about in this show?
Oh, tonight?
I don't know.
The people.
Oh man, this is a doozy. This is a freaking doozy of an article. It's
of an issue.
Yeah. All right, James, are you ready for this?
Are you ready for this? Yeah, James. The answer to that is no.
You're not ready for it.
You're not ready.
You'll never be ready for this.
No. Mm-mm. So you want me to spill the beans?
Yeah, let's spill the beans.
Is it as good as this nude water park for adults to open in Lake Louise?
Oh, that's better. Oh, that's a whole lot better.
Wait a minute. Do what? There's a nude water park.
Popped up on somebody posted on Facebook. It says nude water park for adults set to open in Lake Louise. CBC Radio. I was like, okay.
Are they going to only let certain people in that park? Are they going to be like, you have to be, pleasantly nude. You can't be ugly nude.
Oh my dear God, what is that, dude?
Yeah. I mean, you have to be recognizably human nude, not like, what the hell is that? You let yourself go. If you don't look like a Barbie or a Ken doll, You get the fuck out of here. I don't know what sort of business that we might get in though, because I mean, who the fuck looks like that? I mean, shit.
If the tattoo that you got in high school was closer to your chin, but is now near your navel, probably not a good idea to be nude.
Yeah.
Or if you have a tick on your nuts.
That's a perfect time to be nude. That is the best time to be nude, Becky, because that's how I figured it out.
Just walk up to random people, hey, can you help me get this off of here?
And you know the story is true.
Don't give me my ideas, James, damn it.
Because you know the story was true, because that means that my dad's deer lease, I wasn't showering. I didn't shower for like 2 days straight. You know that story to be true. Yeah, when I go to the deer lease, I'm not showering all that. I'm just pretty much living.
I bet you do now.
Yeah. I do every night, make sure I don't have a tick there. All right.
You made me snort. That was bad.
For a tick and poison oak.
Ooh. I don't even want to know.
You got tick and poison oak on your balls? How that? Okay. How'd that work?
He's going to ask you this. How did you get poison oak on your nuts?
Oh, that wasn't me. I had read that one. A couple had went out to the woods to be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they just, the wrong patch of grass to lay down on, apparently.
Uh-huh. Oh, my
they thought
God.
It was grass. They thought it was all just a regular patch of weeds or grass, and they, proceeded to do their business. And then, when the itching started, I guess that was hell then. Hell of a place.
I thought you were clean. I didn't know you had gonorrhea. It's like, no, it's not that. It's this poison oak. Yeah, sure.
I did have a mechanic once that got poison ivy on his nuts. He came into my office and he goes, I've got a problem. And I said, what's that? And he said, I've got poison ivy. And I said, well, here, spray some of this ivy dry on it. So he came back and he said, oh my God. And I said, what? He goes, it is burning. And I said, well, blow on it. He goes, you blow on it. And then he told me where it was.
Be like, hashtag me too. I don't like, what do you do with that?
No. Yeah, no. I laughed and told him to get back to work. Or to wash it off, one of the two. But to shut the door.
I used to have a friend that would go fishing with us, and he would always tell us things about, how to survive in the wild. You ain't always got toilet paper. You're going to have to use a leaf. Well, he used the wrong leaf one day.
Oh, my Lord.
See, that's why it's good to know.
You know all this survival. You should have knew what that looked like.
And we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it one day. One day you're gonna be out there camping. You're not gonna have toilet paper. Do you know how many leaves that leaf is supposed to have? Because I don't really know. Boy Scouts have said what? Leaves of 3.
Let them be.
Let them be. Okay. So if it's
leaves of 5. No.
Leaves of 5. Let's get a high. What? What are you talking about? I don't know.
Ooh, that's just I could not imagine that itch. That would have to have been terrible.
Yeah, no. Okay, this story.
Yeah? I don't remember this Nintendo game.
All right.
Oh, never mind. That's Sean Hub.
Oh.
It probably wouldn't
that explains a lot right there, doesn't it? Bless his heart, I love him.
It said Nintendo Cannibal Holocaust. I was like, I don't remember that. And I saw who posted it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's probably not real. Somebody asked him, was that really a game? No.
Cannibal Holocaust on Nintendo? No. But there is an there actually is a horror game on the old school NES that was never released in America. I think it's called House or Home. I think it's called Home or Sweet Home. But it's a survival horror game. But the mechanics are that of like a Final Fantasy role-playing game. Except you have like 5 characters and you have to see them all the way through to the end. And it's a film crew and they go to this house or this mansion to get information or whatever. But there's all sorts of traps laid out and all this stuff. You don't get any extra lives. You have to keep all your characters alive somehow. Each one has their own unique tool or ability. And I was playing around with it for a little while. It was pretty cool, but it's not translated, so I have no idea what the fuck was going on. But it was pretty... The thing that was interesting, and you probably get this because you played Final Fantasy before, with the whole fighting system and all that. One of the options, and those who are... have never played Final Fantasy, when you walk around and all of a sudden like a ghost pops out and you go to like this battle mode and it's like you see a ghost in front of you, your options are to run away, fight it, or pray. And I was like, wait a second, this game gives you the option to pray? Oh fuck yeah. I'm gonna be praying all day. So
Okay, are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I don't have enough prayers for it. Okay.
Oh my God, you're not kidding. Okay, this is happening in Canada.
Of course.
There is a movement going on in Canada about people with Down syndrome. And they are wanting to put them on the endangered list because they are in danger of becoming extinct because of abortion.
Wow. What? And this is an article, James. This is
real.
This isn't fake news. This
is real.
There is a group, a movement in Canada of trying to push for people with Down syndrome to be on an endangered species list because they are endangered of, well, some articles call it eugenics, some say abortion, but you know what they're talking about. It's like, okay, because because when people are pregnant, they screen for this, and your doctor will let you know, okay, you screen for it, and then you see these signs. It's like, what do you want to do? It's like, okay,
right.
But I'm looking at this article. I'm like, well, what do you do? Because it's like you could be like, well, I'm sorry, Down syndrome kids. Pro-choice, or you can be like,
no, I have an opinion about all this.
All right.
I'm a girl. I have an opinion about this. Well, first of all, I want to point out that we are not making fun of Down syndrome people.
No, definitely not.
Oh, no.
But we think the article is amusing.
Yeah.
Just because it is. But anyway, okay. First of all, I'm an adopted child. I was adopted right before abortion became legal. I am lucky. And I have met my birth family, and again, I will say I was lucky. I probably would have been an aborted baby because, obviously, I was not planned. She was very young when she had me.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. I am personally against abortion. I could never have one. I don't care what happened. And I mean, it doesn't matter how I got pregnant. There is no way in the world, because I'm adopted and I know how lucky I am, that I could do that. Now, there are a lot of alternatives to where, if you don't want a baby and can't take care of a baby, there's adoption,
Oh yeah, there's people out there that can't have kids.
Yeah.
The waiting list for a healthy...
the waiting list for... They just can't produce a child for some reason.
Right.
And they would love the opportunity to have, a child in their life to just, make a family. But they can't because, nature kind of screwed them over a little bit.
Right. The waiting list for a healthy newborn infant right now in the United States through an adoption agency, not private adoption, but through an adoption agency, is 15 years. So if you want to have a child when you're 30, you might as well start registering when you're 15.
That's a hell of a way
That's
to live.
insane.
Yeah,
And
way
that's
too
because
high.
of abortion.
I mean,
No,
okay, this is, go ahead.
everybody has a right to do what they want to do with their body within reason. But I don't think that just because, I mean, I have some friends that have children that have Down syndrome, and they will tell you they are the biggest blessings they have ever had.
Yeah.
Just because just because someone has that doesn't, doesn't make them any less of a human being. And I think people have to have the perfect everything.
They do.
I think that's
right?
part of the problem. And the woman who's pregnant that has that test, there is a chance that that test can be wrong.
Yeah, and you know what? In that position, when my wife was pregnant, and they asked us, do we want to run those tests? I was like, no, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know, because if I did know, I don't know what I would do with that information. Because it's so tempting. It's so tempting with that information to go, I don't know. Because even after reading this article, I was like, man, this is kind of like a moral conundrum. Because where do you go with this? You could say, oh, I'm sorry, Down syndrome kid. I'm sorry. We don't need any more of you here. Bye. Or be like, no, I welcome you, and I'm gonna try and care for you, and we're gonna have the best we can. So what do you? I mean, it's like, and going on the endangered species list, it's like we would all have to be an endangered species as Homo sapiens.
Yeah, that's what James just. That's what James just said.
Yeah.
James Evans on our chat just said, not that this argument holds up anyway, but on the first most basic level, we are all the same species, so we can't be put on the endangered species list without all humans being on it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I agree.
And I got a kick out of this article, though, because, how I'm an ableist because I made fun of people for being psychos. So,
You evil thing.
I could be an ableist and be like, sorry, Down syndrome kids, too many. Or I could be like, be a misogynist and be like, women, no choice for you. You're keeping that baby. I'm telling you what to do.
Well,
okay. What do I do?
What
do I do, Becky? How do I win? How do I win?
First of all, if you're old enough to play the game, then you get to accept responsibility for your actions. Period.
Oh. By play the game, you mean have sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get pregnant, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 1,000 ways. I mean, I know that everything's not 100% effective, but, I would be willing to bet that 99% of those people that decided to take the morning after pill or have an abortion probably did not use any form of birth control.
Probably. I mean, I'd imagine so, because it seems like it'd be pretty easy to avoid. There's people that have like never knocked up someone and they just like pull out. I mean, I don't know. It's so bizarre. But there's some people who are just really fertile and then just every time they seem to just pop them.
Yeah, I've got a friend that if you look at her, she gets pregnant.
Oh shit!
I'm like, oh my god.
Like that movie. Oh
yeah.
Shit. Don't go drinking juice, sipping juice in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pregnant.
Right.
How do you know? She got like 30 kids.
Yeah. And the other thing that
used to scare me too, because we had a home ec teacher. I was like 17, 16, 17. We had a home ec teacher that was trying to explain that to us. That's not always effective, because sometimes, and I was like, oh dear God, that you went into the whole process of explaining it. I was like, I just wanted to make some waffles or try to sew a shirt.
Biscuits.
Yeah. That's what I want to do.
I want to make these funnel cakes.
Yes.
Yeah, mine never turned out like a funnel cake. It was more like a big funnel glob.
So I wanted to leave this
my
in the
shirt.
chat.
When I made my first shirt, I had the Theo Huxtable shirt. Becky knows what what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, home ec is a whole bunch of stories too, man. I mean, you go in there to learn.
Well, the home ec.
I learned how to make kick-ass homemade macaroni and cheese.
Well, the whole messed up part about our home ec department was we had a home ec teacher fresh out of college, cute, short. She's about my height, short, blonde hair, cute as everything. Apparently her and the ag department teacher come to an understanding. Yeah, and since both of them were married, that was one hell of a thing. That went around school for a while.
Oh man, well that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, every time I was in home ec, it was pretty much I don't know, finding the next date or something. It was weird because you're baking or you're baking a cake or cookies with like some other girl, and you're like, okay, so we're getting close. We're playing home. We're playing house over here. We're playing house. Okay, dear. Let's see how far we want to take this. I don't know. Ah, shit.
James Evans just said Deadman is on the endangered species list.
Probably.
I said, don't encourage him.
I can be. I have a shot right here.
No.
Turn on the shot cam right here. Another $5, either Streamlabs or PayPal. Streamlabs isn't that complicated. You just click that link and you put in the name. You put in what you wanted to say, and then you hit the pay all the way down. You scroll down, you hit the pay, and it goes to PayPal and all that stuff. The cool thing about that is it comes on the screen. It flashes on the screen like an animation, and
it flashes what you say on it.
Yeah, it flashes what you say.
So if I put take a shot asshole on it and pay the $10, it'll say that on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's absolutely no
that
filter.
is scary.
There's absolutely no filter. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh no, I'll leave it to the chat.
No telling.
That article, I'll leave it with the chat. What they would do in that decision? What they do? They go. Do they decide to be a misogynist to say, "I'm sorry, woman, no choice. We gotta preserve every chance. Every sperm is sacred. I'm sorry." Try to go the Catholic route. Or you want to be an ableist and be like, sorry, Down syndrome kid, and no disrespect, but pro-choice, woman's body. What do you do? So I'll leave that in the chat to play around with. Meanwhile, let's see. We still have plenty of time. So, hey, James, what are you working on now?
Right now, I just finished a short story. I actually just turned in tonight to Death Said Press for their upcoming anthology, And Hell Followed, which is about a fallen angel after the Ride of the Horseman, which is a post-apocalyptic thing. It was pretty interesting. But now
really
I'm getting back into my novel, Beast of Sorrows, the one Becky was talking about earlier. It's you have a guy, excuse me, a man, he left his home, in his teenage years just wandering, and, he came across, he ended up in Georgia, came across, he met a girl, they had a thing going, but they stumbled across a little demon. I like to call her the Wendy's bitch from hell, because she looks like the Wendy's girl, but she's pretty sadistic. Becky's read a little bit of it. She probably knows what I'm talking about. And she carries along with her. She calls it Puppy, but it's it's her pet tool, whatever you want to call it, because it'll assist her whenever she needs to feed from, and she feeds from like emotions, especially depression or suicidal thoughts. That's lunch to her. It's like a buffet. But her little puppy is a 300-year-old spirit of a dead werewolf. The lichen part separated from the human part. It's just the spirit of the lichen itself. And they're a pair. She calls it Puppy, like it's all cute and cuddly, and it's definitely not.
Right.
So she has a spirit of a werewolf inside her.
Well, it's not inside the demon. It actually comes along with her. It's like like if she's on one
It's a
part of the
package
room.
deal.
Yeah. And it's pretty interesting so far. I've never saw or read anything like it, so I was going to say, well, people said that Tim was original. I'm going to see if I can be a little bit more original and see if people will like this idea. And what has happened is they're not spoiling anything, but the demon actually kind of latched on to the gentleman that was traveling around, so that's the whole reason he had to leave Georgia. So where he goes, it goes.
Oh, you can't escape it. Okay.
It's kind of like a little revenge. I can't do the spoiler on it, but it's kind of like the demon has a little hint of revenge, against the guy. They had this little incident that she's not going to let go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Makes sense. And when are you expected to release this?
I'm about halfway through the book now, around 40,000 words. And I'm hoping to finish within the next 3 months or less. I'm hoping to finish since I've got all got all the short stories I want to do for the year out of the way. I'm hoping to finish it in maybe the next month or two, and then get it edited and get it sent off to a publisher.
Okay. All right. And I wanted to ask
Kind of hoping
too,
that
with your experience with writing so far, have you had a chance to really play the game long enough to go, really consider, I guess, the indie route or self-publishing route versus traditional?
Well, so far since I don't have the whole big publishing house experience. I'm basically doing the little indie small press type thing. But from what I've seen, I do know authors. I have an author friend in Canada that he was a bestseller in the horror business in the 80s. He sold 60,000 copies of his books. And he worked with Penguin. He wrote westerns for Penguin. And he had told me, he's like, it's not all it's cooked, it's people make it out to be, with the big houses. He said you seem to have more flexibility, with the independent books, or if you self-publish. He's like, you have more room to get yourself out there and not have to go through so much bureaucracy, with the larger publishing houses. My experience so far with the independent publishing or the small press, it's been great. I've got to do several book signings. I got to go to Kentucky for the big Scarefest convention, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed it because I've got to meet the fans, up close. People that's buying the book, that's going to read. I actually got to meet, talk with them, kind of learn what they're about, learn what they like. And that was probably the best experience right there altogether.
Okay.
Just getting to meet people, different places.
Okay.
He is very, very, very dedicated, and he has spent a lot of time and energy and love promoting and selling this book. I honestly can say I don't know many that have worked harder to promote their book than James.
Okay. And I could definitely tell. The way he's talking about it. In fact, we could go into that a little bit more detail. Let's say with them. What was the reception like?
Well, the first time it came out, it wasn't when Fearfront had it. It was only out maybe a month before they decided to close the doors. And then when I finally got around to getting it picked up by Hellbound, it came out and people were, it was slow at first because, if no one knows who you are, they're not going to really know to buy the book.
Yeah.
And so one day I was sitting there and I was looking at, I'd go to Amazon, I'd check Barnes, check all these sites to see if the, my sales ranking had went up or down. And it pretty much stayed around the same. Most of the people who were buying it in the beginning were people that either knew me or people that I know on Facebook. So I was like, I got to do something to see if I can get the book spread out a little bit. So I just picked up the phone I got on Google, and I Googled all the Barnes & Noble locations, that were, in driving range, close enough to where I wouldn't have to, drive forever to get to, and Barnes & Noble were great. I mean, I picked up and I started talking to them. I mean, out of 20 stores I talked to, 7 actually replied and, set up a signing for me. But they were all great. Every store I went to, they were amazing. They treated you like a celebrity. I actually felt like one sitting at the table. But I knew if I didn't do that, it's either do that, spend a little bit of money on gas and time, and hopefully make money. It's like someone told me a long time ago, you got to spend money to make money. And that's what I've been trying to do is, I can't afford a lot, but I do as best I can. And those books I mean, help a lot because I picked up more readers and there's more people that knew about the book. And, I started getting reviews. And the whole experience with that was just amazing. And it just picked up, like the sales. As soon as I started doing the book signings, downloads picked up, physical copies picked up, and I'm hoping the same thing happens now that I have an audio version of the book. Audio version seems to be doing pretty well so far.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like your presence at the book signing definitely seems to play, definitely seems to have an impact or influence in sales, and so. I mean, there you go. I mean, you're definitely invested. You're definitely going out there and promoting your book as hard as you can.
Yeah, he works very hard at it.
And like I said, it was a great experience. I mean, you had some stores like I sold books at every signing except for Mississippi State. And the only reason I didn't sell any there was because they scheduled my signing on the same day that there was an away game. So there was literally no one.
No one's going to be there.
That was really smart of them.
You were like the only person there. Did they refund
but they
it?
were still excellent people. They still treated me like king while I was there. And you'd have some books I always just pulled them over to the table. But I'd welcome them when I saw them come to the door. I'd greet them and then talk to them. And I'd ask them, do y'all like horror books or do y'all? And just something to get the conversation started to draw them to the table. Yeah, right. And once I was over there, some of them, they thumbed through it. You had some people be like, well, no, I don't really like horror. And then when you watched them leave, they had like a Stephen King book in their hand. Like, oh, that doesn't know who I was, but they didn't want to take a chance.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, too. Sometimes people don't really consider it horror. Like, they'll read Stephen King, but they won't really consider it horror. They consider it something else. I don't know. That's a whole other thing. Horror's doing well, but it still has a thing where it does better.
If you don't stigmata.
If you don't really like, just notice. Look at other publishers, like let's say Unnerving, for example. Look at how they classify some of their releases. It's horror. We all know it's horror, but it's not in the horror category. It might be in this category, that category. Because it is not as much competition in that one particular category and could easily get like a higher ranking there. A lot of
I didn't know that.
I do that too. I'll do like horror and then I'll probably choose like a maybe least competitive area. That way, if it sells there as well, I'll be like, oh, now I could say, oh, it's top this. Okay. But you start digging into it, be like, oh no, it made top 100 in category of this or that. Or I think one time the Ancient Ones was like in the top 100 of like the free stuff or whatever. It got high up there, but especially when it was free. Like, damn. But yeah, man, you're definitely doing it. You hit the ground running. You are promoting yourself. You're going out there. Man, I'm excited. You You are definitely making waves, brother.
Not only that, but I mean, his writing is great, and you happen to have a story from him for the psycho horror, Christmas psycho horror.
Psycho
what do you call
Christmas. It? Deadman's Tome.
There you go.
Psycho Christmas. Psycho Christmas. Or Psycho Holiday, actually. Psycho Holiday, as in the Pantera song. Psycho Holiday.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, Psycho Holiday. So we could have a yarmulke or something. We could have like a crazy. It doesn't have to just be Christmas. We can make it cultural.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See? Yeah. Let people think about that. All right. What is your favorite horror movie?
Let's see. Let me think back now. Well, there's been so many. There's one, Alligator. That one was pretty terrifying when I was a kid because I was afraid that I was going to find an alligator coming out of the toilet.
Shit, that was called Alligator?
Nightmare on Elm Street saw it. There's an old movie called Alligator, and it was about this. They flushed a baby gator down the drain and it grew up in the sewer.
Okay.
And it,
I remember that.
There's another one called Silent Night, Deadly Night, where the kid went crazy after he watched his parents get murdered by a guy dressed like Santa Claus. That one was pretty interesting. But my favorite of all time is always going to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Something about Freddy, something about the way he attacks through his dreams, and it was always really creepy. I was afraid to go to sleep at night. I was like, see Freddy when I go to sleep. When I was a little kid, that was horrifying.
Oh yeah, I bet so. Oh man,
it scares me, and I didn't see it till I was in high school. One
movie that was kind of off-putting at the end. It was because of the ending of the movie was Sleepaway Camp. You might remember that one.
I've heard of it. I think I've seen it, but I don't really remember it.
It's where the little boy, his family raises him as a little girl.
Oh, yeah.
And when when he gets older, they send him to sleep with him, and the kid snaps. And the most disturbing part about the ending of the movie for that is when at the end of the movie when they see him holding up somebody's head, he's like completely naked, and it's like, oh no, little dude penis, no. And they kind of hit me too, because when I went to Scare Fest, the actress that played that part in the movie was at Scare Fest.
Oh wow.
Felicia Rose. I actually saw her at the one of the parties that they had there after I think it's Saturday night after the show ended. They had that party, and she was there. And the first thing when I saw her, I was like, "Oh no, little boy penis." It was actually they had actually put her head, her face on a little boy's body, but I was like, still, it just pops into your head, like, oh no.
Right.
Oh man.
She was actually funny. Pretty cool though. She partied pretty hard.
Shit. Man.
But that was disturbing.
That's a good reference though. I gotta rewatch that movie. I gotta check it out again.
You wanted to see the little boy penis? Really?
No, not that. I just
yeah.
No, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. No.
My personal favorite though was Sleepaway Camp 3, where they had the inner city kids going to the camp to learn, how to do things the right way and be, whatever. But the chick killed a chick that was supposed to go there, took her place, went to the camp. Then they had this reporter there. The reporter was supposed to be interviewing all the inner city kids and trying to see how they were enjoying the camp, how everything was working for them there. And at the end, at the end of the interview, the reporter talked to the chick that's killing everybody. They asked her because she thought, hey, they're from the inner city. This girl can score me some coke. So that's what she was trying to score from the inner city crowd. And the chick was like, okay, I got you. I can hook you up. So she goes to the chemical closet.
Oh my Lord!
Mixes some stuff together. Gives it to the reporter. The reporter's like stops on the side of the road, and she thinks she's got coke. Yeah, she was surprised.
No.
Yeah.
Well, serves him right.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, it is. Oh man. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, there's so many movies that get I like. The Critters. I used to love Critters.
Oh, Critters is good. That's a good one.
People Under the Stairs.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. That's creepy as hell too.
Dude from that was actually at Scarefest too. Let's see, some other movies I remember. I'm trying to remember.
I always get
Critters.
I think I get the Critters and the Ghoulies mixed up. It's the Ghoulies, the British one, right? Where
Yeah, the Ghoulies. I remember them too.
the toilet scene.
There's one called Chud.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. You know the one.
There's another one my sister had got one time. It was also I'm gonna think the name of the movie is called The Thing or It or not It, but The Thing or something like that. Some creature that lived under the sand. There's a part of the movie where this guy was trying to force himself on some lady on the beach. He falls. He's already unzipped and everything, so he just falls into the sand face first. Well, hey, there's a snack for the creature.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And like halfway through the movie, the detective that are, they're investigating all the murders. These two kids run by, is like, hey, we found that guy's picker from the beach, and threw it in their hands. Like, oh God, what the hell?
It'd be hilarious. It'd be fun just to make a movie like that. Oh shit.
No, you have to find the title for that one because he wants to watch that too.
Yeah, let's watch that movie. You know what, Becky?
Becky. No, we are not streaming the movie live on
No.
YouTube.
I tried that once. I tried that once and I couldn't. No, there was a movie called Zombie Ass. It's a Japanese horror movie. The Japanese horror movie about a zombie epidemic where they get infested and their colons, or the best way I can describe it is their colons just shoot out like their long intestines or whatever, and they infect other people.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
So they're walking around and all of a sudden their intestines shoot off their butt?
They walk around.
I've seen clips of that. I know what he's talking about. I don't know what the movie. I didn't know what the movie was, but I've seen clippings of that.
It's called Zombie Ass. It's called Zombie Ass. And I tried to watch that live on YouTube, and I didn't think I'd be hit with a strike because why would that production company really care? But apparently I was. I tried it many times.
Oh my God!
Tony Evans was the only person who was there along for the ride, and I was like, man, I'm trying to get this to work. But I try to stream it like after 3 or 4 or 5 different times. The only thing else I could do is maybe like kind of grain out the screen so like it doesn't get auto detected or something. But come on. I mean, it's a movie called Zombie Ass. You're kind of watching it because you're going to watch Japanese girls be pretty much showing their ass and shooting things out of it. It's come on. Not much trouble porn. Fuck.
You wanted to watch the Japanese girls shoot stuff out their butt. That's disturbing.
In a zombie plot. Okay?
Oh my God.
If you search deep enough, you'll find some of the weirdest ones out there. It's like, now there's 2 movies called Jack Frost. One, I think.
Oh God.
I can't remember that actor's name. He's one of my favorites. He played Batman. Michael Keaton. I think it's Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
It's a good family film. The other one is a B-rated horror film where the snowman's killing people. It's like one of the methods he used to kill was the chick was going to take a bath. Some chick was taking a bath, and he was the bath water apparently. And she's sitting there washing her hair, and next thing you know, you see the carrot pop up out of the water. I'm like, oh hell, really? That's why she's going to die?
Yep. Oh Lord.
Jack Frost. Then there was one where the creature killing people was just a giant mutated penis.
Ah.
And I was like, "Are you serious?"
I am not watching movies with you.
Wait a second. Are you sure that's not just a trauma film? Oh wait, I think I've seen that film. A giant mutated penis.
I found it. I forgot. Was it on? I forgot where I found it at. I was searching through. I think it was when I had
Cinemax.
I had satellite.
Isn't it Romeo? I thought it was Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. Well, it was directed by James Gunn, the same James Gunn who did Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, there's a scene where this giant penis monster comes out of this dude's pants and is all menacing and shit. And, you know,
I am not about to Google this.
You might as well. You Googled Blue Waffle.
No. I was coerced into it and did not know what I was looking at. So no.
This shot's been sitting here.
This monster.
This shot's been sitting here. Let me go ahead. Let me take this shot. If this is gonna be the last one, that'd be sad. There's still time. It's still time.
It's for me. Take it for me.
All right.
Since I don't have any.
Okay, here we go. Taking it now.
I love tequila. Did you make the tequila face?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I could tell you did.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, man.
We need to give James tequila, too.
I don't have lime and salt and shit. Or not and shit. Lime and salt.
Oh, I don't ever use lime and salt. But I don't drink the kind of tequila you're drinking either.
Hornitos.
No.
I just got it because it sounds perverted. Hornitos.
Yeah. I like the El Jimador. Tequila.
El Jimador.
The Blanco. It's really good. It'll also jump up and bite you. You don't even realize it.
Oh, yeah. Well, those Hornitos will jump up and bite you, too. It will.
But you like that.
Yeah. And so does my wife. I just, I don't know. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You better. She might kill you.
Gotta get to the end here. I might want to take care of a few things. Ladies,
she's gonna check you for ticks.
Yeah, thoroughly, Becky. She's checking for ticks. Check me for ticks.
Tell Mrs. Deadman that I said hello.
Oh, yeah, I will. Ladies, gentlemen, it's been great. James Watts. James. What was your nickname again?
Killer Watt.
Killer Watt. James Killer Watt. That's a cool nickname. That's cool. It was great having you on. Feel free to come back on again anytime. The show's live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Today is an exception. Today is an exception to the rule. But feel free to jump on anytime. Sometimes we'll throw out a link for people to call in, and you can feel free to call in anytime, man.
And buy James's book. Buy James's book, Them, available on Amazon.com and HellboundBooksPublishing.com.
That is right.
And leave a review.
Now at Walmart.
Yeah,
oh, yes. Walmart, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. It's everywhere.
All right.
No reason.
Ladies, gentlemen, you press that thumbs up button if you made it this far. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share to someone that cares. And y'all take it easy.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.